All right, so in this one we're going to do is the specular map. So usually you'll typically have your color map, a bumper normal map, and then your specular map, right, or something. It depends, obviously, you're using like a PBR and you're using the metalness and all that other stuff, but for kind of a generic basic thing, it should work. So I'm just going to make another layer. We're just going to call it, shine. And this time I'm going to change the channel, and we're going to go specular. Okay. If you do need any of this other stuff, it's obviously there as well, but we'll just do specular, and it should show up as another layer. I'm just going to collapse these, and you'll see it right. Oops, collapse that one. Here we go. Here it is right here. So all we're going to do is go over here. I'm going to take the paintbrush, click on it a couple times. Make sure the stencil is off because I'm not using that anymore, and that one's off. Okay. And fall off is fine. We'll just do this one. And the way this works is that basically the color is going. I'm going to put this on X. The color is the reflectiveness. So watch. If I actually do blue, it's going to make it so that he shines blue. So you can get kind of a cool effect if you wanted to do something like that. Most of the time what you're going to want to do is just paint things black to white, right? Unless you're like specifically looking for something. Now, that being said, I'm just going to go here, and I like to just paint things black and white. What we're going to do is we're going to right-click on this, and we're going to do Solo as Diffuse. The reason why I'm going to do it that way is that you can see by default, I guess it must be like mid-gray because it's showing as transparent. So now what I can do is I can go through, and if I paint this black, okay, the pants, that's going to make it 100% not, keep doing that, 100% not shiny. Okay, so you get the idea, right? Imagine I did a good job. I know it's hard. Right, so just imagine it looks good. I don't know what that would be, but obviously I don't know what looking good looks like, but imagine it looks good. And then with this, right, his torso, I could just do generally, you probably want like almost black because this would have a little bit of shine, depending how sweaty the dude is. Logan's kind of sweaty. Kind of a sweaty guy. So just, right. So I would kind of approach it in a similar manner to how we did the primary and secondary colors. So I'll just do something like that. Now, what you could do also is go ahead and just do another layer if you want to do multiple layers. I'm just going to go to, like, let's say here. I'm going to take, and let's do this one. And I'm just going to, make some things a little shinier and some a little less. So, for instance, usually your nose is a little bit shinier. That's too shiny. Just going to kind of real lightly add some shine onto that. Maybe a little bit on the cheeks. The lips usually are, right? A little bit around the ears. Maybe a little bit on these guys here. I'm just going to shift to kind of smooth it, right? Smooth that out. Maybe a little bit here. Just smooth that out again. But maybe a little bit on the elbows. Sometimes on the hands are a little bit. So just to get a little bit of variation. Now, you could get a really cool effect. So let's say you have a shirt. If a person's wearing a shirt and you have a graphic on there. And there's a graphic on there. What you could do is actually take that layer, duplicate it, invert it or whatever, and then like use that as the specular. So that way you can make the part that's the graphic shiny, just like it would be on an actual shirt, or have a little bit of specular. And then you would have that as well. I forgot to lock that. Object list. Where's the torso? Okay. And then we'll just go ahead and paint this black again. I don't know what's going on with that. Okay. Imagine it looks good. I know it doesn't, but imagine it did. Okay. Let's unlock the torso now. Okay. So then when we're done, just like before, we're just going to right click on this. You're just going to go unsolo. And what you're going to see is that his pants are completely matte and he's a little bit shiny on his skin. So to me, he's a little bit too shiny. I would probably bring that down a whole bunch more. It's way too thick this way. It occurs to me. Like that should be anyway. Yeah. Anyway, so that's how you would do the specular. All right. So more or less, you could just apply a lot of the same general rules that you would to some of the other stuff. You can use layering and all that. All right. When you are done, and we're looking to export this out, what you're going to do is this. You cannot just apply these to the model that's already in there because even if we go to the lowest version of the model, which is right here, I'll make sure I'm torso and page down. All right, even if I go to the lowest level, control, right? This is slightly different than when I brought in from doing all the sculpting. These actually, even the lowest level gets moved while you're working. I'm going to put the normal map back on. So what I need to do is actually take this and, oh, that's what's happening. The eyes are like overlapping. We'll fix that afterwards. So I need to basically export out both the model as well as the textures. Now you can individually export these out. So like what I mean by that is if I go here, I can take this one, and export that. What you're going to want to do though instead is export all of them. So I'm going to right click on diffuse and go export channel merged. That will take it as a whole as I see it here as one big image. So then once again, I'm just going to hopefully, there we go, and go character, go to my source images, and we'll just call this color underscore map. Okay. And that'll be my color map. And I'm just going to collapse that. Come on. You can do it. Come on. There you go. We'll take the specular and again, export channel merge. I only have one in there, but just for funsies. And we'll call this one specular. Okay. Good. And then the normal map, I actually do have to because we exported it out, but I don't know that, you remember how we did the little blurring and stuff? So we actually need to export this one out just in case. So export channel merged, and we'll just go right over top of this one. So I'm not sure if that one is going, because sometimes it's still linked when you do it, but sometimes it's not, or you know, I can't remember. So anyway, we'll just do that just in case. All right, so now those are done. Next thing I want to do is actually just export out the model in general. So what we're going to do is, I guess I'll unlock this. We're just going to click on this. And let's see, can we hold shift and select everything? We can. Good. Okay. We'll select all of them. That's everything, right? That's our whole do. Yep. We're going to grab all of that. Make sure, page down, that they're all the low levels. It's calculating tangents. So page down. Just want to make sure everything's at the lowest level because that's how we did our sculptures and all that. So see, it's still doing it. I wonder if I have to do it for each one of them. It's kind of weird. Okay, I'm going to assume that they're all, just make sure that they're all good. Then file, come on. You can do it. File, and then we'll just do export selection. And we'll just do scenes, and we'll just say, final character model. That's fine. And then we will hit save. And voila. And then what I want you to do is to submit the assignment. You will send me the, you'll submit the OBJ as well as those 3 texture files. And then I will just hook them up together on my end. Before we do the rigging, we'll have you hook it up in there as well. But we'll call that good as far as this assignment is concerned. As you can probably tell, this is pretty time consuming. But, this is what makes something, that looks good look amazing. And it's dependent on how much time you spend, how much you're referencing your images, attention to detail, all the big things. All right. So if you run into issues, let me know. I know there's quite a bit. Sorry, there's a lot of videos and they were long. It's just, that's how long it takes. So good luck, guys.